This is Tulsi Gabbard's comments. I think it's NBC News is carrying this, right? This is very short. It's a 1-minute clip of Tulsi Gabbard. And we'll run that, and then I'll run my mouth, okay? So let's run the clip, and then we'll talk.
Look, I did not take the easy vote. I took the vote that I felt was in the best interest of our country and standing in the center to be able to bring the country together, to be able to begin this reconciliation. Look, I did not take the easy vote. I took the vote that I felt was in the best interest of our country and standing in the center to be able to bring the country together, to be able to begin this reconciliation that I think is so necessary in this terribly divided moment in our country. Some of them, and there are different responses, some have been supportive of it, others were disappointed in it. People are looking to have requested the language from the censure resolution, looking further into that and recognizing that by passing this censure resolution, Congress has the opportunity to send a strong message to this president and all future presidents that Congress will not allow abuses of power to go unchecked while still respecting the people of this country who have the power to cast their votes and decide whether or not to remove this president. And I really believe that they will.
Hey, NBC News viewers.
We don't want to hear from you, Lester Holt. Okay, so, all right, so Tulsi Gabbard, that's a little bit about her mindset on this, and now I'm gonna talk about what I think about it, because I try my best to keep it real and just put it out there. And I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, I don't agree with her at all. I do not agree with Tulsi Gabbard's point of view on this. I think, and part of it is not just Tulsi Gabbard, it's the reaction from a lot of people who support her. I don't think it's courageous to take a president vote. I don't see how that's courageous in any way. People are calling it courage. People are calling it bold. People are saying that she has more cojones than anybody else in Congress. I don't think so. To say, like, I want to center the country. I don't even like that language. There is no center for the country. That's the type of neoliberal centrism BS that has gotten us where we are now. We don't want centrism. I don't want the country to be centered. There's some things that are wrong and there are things that are right. Corruption is wrong. There is no center on corruption. You can't center corruption. Well, just take a little bit of corruption. Shake it up. Add a little bit of good thoughts and philanthropy to it, and then we got something in the middle. No. We need to get out all corruption. We don't want to center racism. We don't want to center discrimination. Oh, you got some bigots here who won't hire the blacks. We got bigots here that won't hire the gays. We got bigots here that won't hire old people, whatever, right? And we got a couple of people that like black people. We'll mix that up, and then we'll mix up some of the LGBTQIA stuff, and then we'll mix up some of the, other groups that are whatever, and all this stuff gets mixed up. And no, we need to root out all of it. We need to fight it back. We need to fight back against all forms of oppression, of corruption, of institutional systemic racism, mass incarceration, unchecked capitalism, unfettered capitalism that ravages people every day, the gouging of us by our freaking insurance companies and pharmaceuticals that rape us. Like, we need to fight back. We don't need to say, well, we're just going to do a little bit. We need to trim around the edges. I don't like the centrism talk. I don't think it makes you above the fray. I don't think it makes you any better. In fact, I think that is safe. To me, it's more risky to make a yes vote. All right? To me, it's more risky to make a yes vote or a no vote than it is to make a present vote. Do I think she has valid reasons for doing it? She says she does. All I know is I see MSNBC talking about it, CNN talking about it, Fox News talking about it. Every site is talking about it. TMZ's covering it. Everybody's talking about it. That's all I know. Now, we can come to the conclusions, if you want to, that this is all ethical and this was all done because we want to center the country. If you want to, that's fine. That's what she says. All I know is a lot of publicity surrounding this vote. that changes nothing, that does nothing other than have this conversation, other than attract attention to her. That's all I'm saying, because it didn't change anything. If you don't think he should be impeached, you vote no. Now, if she would have voted no on the impeachment, I'd have felt better about that. That's me. But that's my personal opinion, and if that's how I would have felt, that's the way I would have voted. People are trying to make present be the same as no. No, it's not the same as no. No is no. And we ain't learned nothing else from Me Too movement. We at least need to learn that no means no. Hey, baby, can I take you back to the crib? Present. What's wrong? You took me back to the crib. I thought you was okay. You didn't say no, but I said present. What? So, look, guys, I don't understand. I know, look, it does not mean at all that Tulsi Gabbard is not entitled to her own opinion. Of course she is. And I think some people are making, I think the whole country is making too much of this. Tulsi Gabbard has the right to vote any way she wants to vote. She has been elected and selected by the people of Hawaii for her to represent them. Those are the people that vote her in. And they have bestowed upon her the ability to act on their behalf. That's what she does. She's a congressperson acting on the behalf of the people of Hawaii, right? So unless you are people of Hawaii, right? Because, look, I've had a couple of days to stew over this, to think about it, I don't say stew because I'm busy, but I would say to reflect on it. And now that I've reflected on it, I'm like, hold on a second. Tulsi Gabbard has the right to vote any way she wants to vote. And of course, I'm going to talk about it. People are going to discuss it. But at the end of the day, it's one vote. It's her vote. It's a personal decision. And I'm glad she made the decision that she felt was right. If that's in fact what she did, then I'm glad she did that. I don't agree with her choice, but that's her choice. You understand where I'm coming from with this? It's her choice to make the choice she made. It doesn't impact your life. It doesn't impact my life. It impacts her life dramatically. It won't impact Donald Trump's life. It won't change the status of Donald Trump's impeachment. He still got impeached. What did it do? Now, I think it's what she decided to do, though I don't support it. As in, when I say I don't support it, I support her right to take her vote and do what she want to do with her vote. She earned the right to sit in that seat. She earned the right to cast the vote the way that she saw the best way to cast that vote. That's her right as a congressperson. No one just gave her the position. She was elected. She had to do stuff. She had to campaign, take time away from family, suffer the rigors of opposition research, deal with all the things that you deal with on the campaign trail in order to be a congressperson. She did that, right? Well, she gets to make a vote. And she has made several votes, many votes in Congress. We are making bigger of this than needs to be made, I think. And get what I'm saying? Because I feel like it's up to her to make that choice. So though I don't agree with the vote, though I don't see it as consequential, what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said was consequential, she was saying it was going to be consequences to not picking a side. Okay. Tulsi Gabbard is out anyway. She said she's not running for re-election. She made a decision. I don't know why, but there's got to be a reason. Okay? I would like to hear more about her reasoning of deciding not to run for re-election to Congress. Of course, there's all types of stuff floating around out there about why she's doing this or why she's doing that. But at the end of the day, it is her decision to make. We don't get to make that decision for her. It doesn't mean we agree with it. So I think that there are people going too far with this is all I'm saying. There are people going, oh my God, I can't believe that she made this decision. How dare she make this decision? And there are people going, yay, she's a champion. She's the greatest thing. She's amazing. She's courageous. And nobody else, and that Bernie Sanders would never stand up and make a present vote. And how dare he, and all this crap. I'm like, whoa, I don't see how this even makes sense. People make votes every day in the House of Congress. Tulsi Gabbard is entitled to make her own decisions to this. I don't think the ramifications are as far-reaching as people want to make it out to be. Nor do I think the kudos and the pats on the back and the praise and worship and calls of sainthood and the hoisting upon shoulders and carrying her around, metaphorically carrying her around on your shoulders, praising her and drinking her bathwater because she voted present. I don't think that makes sense, Johnson. Neither does it make sense to demonize her beyond all others. I had a couple people like hit me up, well, she's horrible, she's a this or she's a that. I'm like, well, dude, she's the same person she was before she cast the vote. You don't want people to vote their conscience? Let me get this right. So in your mind, you think it's okay. You would rather her not vote her conscience because you want her to vote the way you wanted to vote. Nah, man, no. We want people to be people and to make decisions. And if I entrust you with my vote and I vote you into office, I trust your judgment. If I got a problem with your judgment, I won't vote for you next time. But that's why you send people to Congress. They're supposed to represent you, and you want them. And that's why it's important that we know a person's integrity level, that we understand their thought process. That's why we look at people. That's why we care. That's why when we look at Joe Biden flying off the handle at every turn, crucifying people for asking him questions, we're like, hold on, this guy, he don't seem to be the kind of guy I want representing me. Because all of that matters. But I do understand that there are people who don't believe that the impeachment is right. And let me also say this, guys. Let me separate something for everybody real quick and just explain how I feel about this. So for the record, guys. Just because I don't believe that the impeachment is going to help the Democrats win shit in 2020, I don't think if you beat Donald Trump, it won't be because you did an impeachment. I don't believe that's going to do it. In fact, I think impeaching Donald Trump will make it harder. But let's make something clear. That does not mean you don't bring impeachment proceedings if that's what you truly believe. Now, I know there are people that disbelieve. They say there is no recourse. There is no solid reason for bringing these charges. I've heard people say that. I heard people say the opposite. At the end of the day, if you think somebody broke the rules to the extent where they need to be removed from office, cast your vote. I personally feel there is no president in the history of presidents, maybe there was a couple, but not in my lifetime, has there been a president who could be brought up on impeachment charges. Because you don't have to break the law to be impeached. You have to break a code of ethics. I think bombing the hell out of people is a code of ethics violation. I think George W. Bush in Iraq bringing us to a war we shouldn't have been in, I think that was a violation of the code of ethics. I think that Obama, the drone attacks that hit 90% civilians, I think that was a violation of the code of ethics. Who wants that guy as president? Guantanamo Bay under Bush, code of ethics. Obama not breaking up Guantanamo Bay, code of ethics. I mean, the crack era with Ronald Reagan. I mean, in my opinion, so I'm sorry, guys, you're going to have to miss me with the whole I need to feel sorry for Donald Trump. Donald Trump's getting a bad rap. No, Donald Trump, just people bring up the emoluments clause all the time. Well, we can bring up Syria. I don't think he should have dropped those bombs, Johnson. If you want to be a stickler. But I know we're so far gone in the United States. We are so beyond the pale. We're used to so much garbage, so much corruption. We're used to so much murder and mayhem in this United States that we don't have any equilibrium. We have no conscience. We have we have a warped sense of what deserves a person to be in office and not be in office. If you say Donald Trump didn't help the Russians, and I don't think he did, Johnson, I was strong on that. I've been adamant on that from day one. Back when we used to do a show together, we talked a lot about Russia, and how we never brought into it. Some people act like they're the only people who ever thought that the Russia stuff was a bunch of defense mechanism, a reaction in order to deflect criticism and assume responsibility for losing to Donald Trump. I've been saying that from day one. Some people think they're the only ones who came up with this idea. No, there's a lot of us who felt that way, Johnson. Just some of us didn't work for the Young Turks when they said it. But back to my point. Even if you don't think Donald Trump had anything to do with the Russians, or the Russians helped Donald Trump get into office, or they were working or coordinating, or even if you believe that Donald Trump did not offer a quid pro quo, that he did not try to negotiate looking into Donald Trump looking into Joe Biden or Hunter Biden, even if you think that's all a bunch of crap, okay? At the end of the day, Donald Trump is not a good president. At the end of the day, I will not defend him. I will not defend his acts. He has done other acts that should warrant it. But we live in such a corrupt system that those acts are acceptable. It's acceptable to drone attack. It's acceptable to kill people for no freaking reason, to drop bombs for no freaking reason. It's acceptable to strip us. Hell, man, if it was up to me, I'd impeach a president for taking away fucking Meals on Wheels from the old ladies and the old men, the senior citizens. Hey, look, that's enough for me. But you don't want me being your guy who's responsible for impeachment. I'd want to file paperwork every day. I have a moral compass. So I know that America doesn't have that type of moral compass, that we have a certain amount of corruption that we're allowed to have. There's a certain amount of death we accept. A lot. Millions of dead folks. Millions of displaced refugees. And then we shut the door on them. Okay? So don't get me started on it. The point is, I don't feel sorry for Donald Trump getting impeached. But even if you don't agree with the impeachment, if you do agree with the impeachment, at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, this is what happens. And Donald Trump, in my opinion, this will help Donald Trump more than it will hurt Donald Trump. I've had this conversation with others. No, it's not going to hurt or help. Okay, whatever. Donald Trump is going to run on this. He's already running on it. He's hoping to stretch this out in the Senate, right? To stretch it out, to drag it out, to show how badly the Democrats wanted him, how biased they were, to continue to fight the media. So whoever is going up against Donald Trump, and I hope that is Bernie Sanders, but whoever goes up against Donald Trump in 2020, they're going to have to fight against not only Donald Trump, but Donald Trump's going to lump them into the media and the takedown of this impeachment and say they're all against me, that they're the establishment. You get what I'm saying? So that's the way he's going to run his campaign. And that's going to be hard. People that buy into his narrative will be energized to give money and to come out and vote. An electrified electorate on the Republican side, on the GOP side, conservative side. That's what we have. But even though that's true, if you really think that Donald Trump did something and he needs to be impeached, all right, go ahead. All I know is it further makes the case for why only a candidate that can excite disaffected voters will stand any chance whatsoever of even giving Donald Trump a run for his money. You understand what I'm saying? That's how I feel about it. I don't think the Democrats did themselves any favors by doing this. Let's make that clear. I don't think they did themselves any favors by doing this. So back to Tulsi Gabbard. I'm not going to sit there and condemn Tulsi Gabbard for making a stand the way that she sees fit. I'm going to give her the benefit of my doubt and say she did it for her own reasons, ethical reasons. She said she did it for the country. That's what she says. I don't know her heart. Well, I'm going to search her heart to determine what she thinks and feels. I think we go too far with that. Look at her actions. Do you agree with them or don't agree with them? I don't agree with her choice. I don't have to. It's her choice. I agree with her ability to make her choice because she was elected by the people of Hawaii. Now, I don't know how they feel about it. Maybe we should ask them. But at the end of the day, this is going to follow her for the rest of her life. People say she's going to get a job on Fox News. There are easier ways to get a job, Johnson. Tommy Lawrence got a job on Fox News. She didn't have to be hated by all of the Democratic Party to do so, or the majority of the Democratic Party. I mean, that's a long way. I mean, damn, why not just fill out a job application? I mean, come on, man. It's got to be easier ways. They don't have a job line. Nobody can slide you a business card or QR code or something. I mean, the only way you can get it. So like, there are all of these like theories about why she did this. She's going to be working for Donald Trump. Well, wow. All I know is I want to wait and see if this happens. What are you basing that opinion on? Is there something, you have any evidence to delay, to give credence to your claim? No, I just feel it in my bones. Yeah, I feel stuff in my bones too. It's called old age. You might want to go for walks. So anyway, guys, that's how I feel about Tulsi Gabbard. I'm sorry, there won't be carnage tonight. There is no carnage to make. I think we're making more to do about it than necessary. I don't think she changes the price of tea in China, nor does all of a sudden mass incarceration end, nor does the sun suddenly no longer set in the east and rise in the west. Which way that goes, I don't remember. But, I got to admit, guys, I didn't miss her on the debate stage. So there are people talking about that. I thought it was the best debate I've seen. Several mix-ups, several dust-ups. I like that there were less people. I like that Pete Buttigieg got his comeuppance. These are things that I've hoped for a while. So maybe I'm a little bit biased, man. I really wanted to see that. So anyway, that's how I feel about it. Of course, I'm going to open up the phone calls. Everybody's entitled to their opinions. There's no right or wrong opinions. Hopefully they're based in some facts, something to undergird your opinion. But at the end of the day, these are just our opinions. Because, look, this is my thing. And I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop after this. I'm going to say this. What did she really do? Like, I was talking to my wife about this earlier. I was like, as much as I disagree with her decision, what did she really do? You know what I'm saying? Like, what did she really do that was so bad? She voted president. Oh my God. And to those people that think she did something so great, she like, what did she really do? She voted president. It's like, wow, okay, all right. So that's the thing. I think that's how I feel about it. I disagree with her logic. I do not agree that voting president, that this center, I want to center the country. You can't center the country. No one can center the country. We got some people on some BS. We got some corruption we need to rid the country of. We got some lopsided policies. We got income inequality. We can't center that shit. We need to get rid of the inequality. Don't center the bigot. Outlaw his practices that impact other people, that hurt their lives. We don't need to center a person who's a bigot, but we need to get rid of systemic racism that makes me get a higher interest rate than you, even if we had the same credit, just because you are white and I'm black. Okay, let's get rid of that. But how someone feels, we don't need to center their thoughts. We don't need to center their attention, their attitude. You're never going to do that. How are you going to center? You can't change people. That's why we say sprinkle some facts on them, Johnson, and get out of there, because you're going to change people. You give them something to think about. People change themselves. You ain't changing nobody. And all these people that keep saying, well, we got to get the country back. You never had the country, dumbass. We never had it, Joe. Joe Biden, we never had the country, sir. Get off your high horse. You can't have something back that you never had. There have been people hurting in this country. There's been homeless people that you've been stepping over your entire life, sir. There's been income inequality, racial disparities, discrimination, people suffering, people addicted, veterans on the streets, cops eating their service weapons. We've had all this going on for the last 40 years. You've been stepping over them on your way to work on the Amtrak every day. Cut the crap. We need to take the country back. I was listening to Bernie Sanders talk about our economy. You know how much of a raise people got, generally speaking? 1.1% raise over the last 8 years. Get out of my face about we need to take the country back. All right. Did you enjoy that content? I know you did. You got great taste, Johnson. What can I say? Become a member of the Tim Black Wolf Pack today right here on YouTube, or go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, and you'll get free stuff, special stuff, secret stuff. Do it today. Wolf Pack.